what are the 5 steps to do and to create an outstanding AI agent? And today we have with us Andrés. He has been working over 3 decades designing solutions that bridge artificial intelligence, NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, and human computer interaction. So it's founder of technology projects and companies, Pandora Box, The Audio, and Adipta, and creator of a Spanish language virtual agent platform. So Andres, tell us, what are the 5 steps in order to create an outstanding AI agent?
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
The first step is understanding what you are going to solve, what the people need to be solved. And then you have to dig inside of the problems, create methodology, create a procedure, think about what kind of information you need to grasp from the human and what kind of information you have to give to the human. So then you have to take a conversational engine, which we built, and teach this engine how to behave with the human. This is the most important part. Most companies, they say, I want AI, but they don't know what AI is. AI is like a child crying, it hurts, but but it's not. Normally company hurt because company do not know what they want. So when they engage with classical chatbots, they get stuck because chatbots ask them something and they get stuck there because people do not want to answer this and don't want to talk about this. And chaotic conversation is a big issue without any conversation. Humans are used to go over a chaotic conversation, to put order in a conversation. Chatbots, they get lost. They get lost or they get stuck. Artificial intelligence, the last one, the new one, the generative AI, they are another approach. It's like talking to everyone else, like talking to the world. So you can ask for a recipe from some meat, and he will give it to you. And even if the technology is about banking, so the huge problem is focusing. And we developed a language who is able to teach an artificial intelligence how to make a procedure, how to behave exactly. So, therefore, it is very useful to follow medical protocols. Where you cannot jump over any step from a medical protocol because you end up in jail. So this is mainly. I have been working for more than 20 years on the human-computer interface, trying to solve the last mile problem. You know which is the last mile problem? The link, the human link. So the first human link was the mouse, this one. And then the keyboard. Keyboard and mouse are currently the most important link. Now it is voice and chatting. And voice link is a complicated one because when you are with a screen, with a formula or something like this, you normally follow an order because the order is shown to you. But when you are talking, the order is something in the air, something you cannot grasp. And one of those people normally rule the conversation. In this way, what we have built is a language to allow you to teach your artificial intelligent agent how to rule the conversation. And this makes it very interesting, just because when you are faced to typical agent AIs, they, how do you say it? When you commit an error, marketing people told that errors are hallucinations, but they are not people. They not hallucinate. They are errors with a proper disguise. So our system executes language. This is very weird, but when our system understands language, it converts the language into execution, and this execution gets done. So when you want things to be done, you have to use a system which is deterministic, and this is our goal. We are deterministic. Whenever you say something, the understanding of this something people say is unique. There is no ambiguities. And even if language is ambiguous, we have the proper way to circumvent the ambiguity by means of rephrasing, by means of re-asking something or pinpointing some idea. It's more complicated than this.
We're gonna dig deep. We're gonna go deep, because I agree with you in one thing. Like, people say, well, AI is hallucinated. Well, it's hallucinated because you haven't enclosed and you haven't training that model
Yes.
Effectively.
But
if you can,
no, it's not that.
no,
This is not
what
true.
is it? Okay,
No,
so tell
hallucination.
us.
Hallucination is something called, have you heard about Brownian movement? It's when a particle of pollen falls on a surface of water, it begins to jump in an absolutely random way and draws a path. This is called the Brownian path. So it's when you have a big language model trained, it's like a very huge decision tree, and the movement among those branches in this tree is governed by two things. One is the context you give, and the second is something called temperature, which is a randomness. So the system is going to choose one or the other one. When the system do not have a proper answer, all the ways are closed. So the system toss a coin and say, okay, now I am going this way, and he makes any kind of stuff, and then he makes up a very very nicely written lie.
Very good. Okay, so now how can we solve it? Okay, tell me a little bit more about the technology, because this is what we have when now everyone is creating agents. They have like a marketing director. Then they have one director underneath from LinkedIn, one from YouTube, and then they have other agents that they post, other agents that do the graphic design, and all these have to interact to each other. And the biggest challenges that they are out there is exactly in this part that you covered, how to train the agents to perform effectively, because otherwise you want a specific outcome. Okay, I'm telling you, because we tried with our IT director, our team, to try to do something like this, and the first try that we did, my IT director told me, Harry, it's not that easy. There are some challenges. There are some challenges because we already run a multi agents very simple, and it's not giving us the outcome that we want. So we need to go deeper, and now we need to train those agents deeper, and it's gonna take time and architecture and everything. So tell us, what do you think?
This is all commercial bullshit. to have a lot amount of data is not a warranty something will train on it and obtain proper information. If you have a lot of random data, you cannot ask for the immortality of a Krebs. So when
you have to do the
when
accurate data. Yeah, that's what that we have to
not
give.
only accurate data, you have to have the proper model to train on those data. Not any model trains on any data. There is a fitting.
Oh
You
wow,
need
affinity.
a
Oh
fitting.
wow, fit.
There are more than 200 ways of different kind of models, and even artificial neural network
Oh
models.
wow.
They do not train very easily. The cost of the training is very high. Let me give you a little glimpse. Our system do not need training. Our system is without training. The system has been taught as if it was a people who is coming out of a university or high school. So he knows a lot of things because he has been initially trained not on free text, but on structured text, but on dictionaries. So when you mean a word, the system knows what's the meaning of the word. And even if the word do not exist on the dictionary, he can guess out if this word is composed by different sections which may be identifiable, like super hurrah. Okay, he is able to understand this also, even if it is not in the dictionary. So we created a system with a huge understanding capability. And the second thing, which is more important than this, is when I tell you how much is 2 plus 2, in your mind immediately it pops up the number 4, correct? But what happens in your mind? What did just happen in your mind? Your mind detected an algebraic equation, a very simple one. Then you took out your little Casio with one digit, which you learned on the middle school or in basic school, and then you took 2 plus 2, 4. What happened is you transformed speak words into operations, and you perform the operations. Okay, when I tell you the second Thursday next month, you don't have a clue what is the day, but you are instructed how to go to a calendar and perform the operations, count next month, and then go first, second Thursday, and then you guess the information. What you did in this moment by thinking and acting is executing language. Our system does execute language. It does not need training, because the training is the way we think. And this way we think has been embedded into the internal model. And the internal model is not a statistical model, it's a deterministic model. So let me give you an example. In English, it doesn't work. In Spanish, it works very well. In Spanish, when you say the word mañana, in English, it means 3 things: in the morning, the tomorrow, or the future. When you see a word, you cannot distinguish which is the meaning of this word. But if you take the context, you are able to check out the real meaning. And you don't have to try anything. You don't have to train anything. Even training is a very bad solution for conversation, because the system has been trained not on conversations, but on Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is no conversation inside of this. It's not a novel. There is no first person, second person. There is no way people understand each other, and the context in a conversation gives the directions of this conversation. So when you only train on conversation, you fail on taking into account the context. In our case, we developed a language which is able to set up the context to be exact like computer language and be able to even analyze different situations and evaluate which is the situation which better fits on the context. This is determinism, and therefore we can use it for medicine.
Mhm. And then, so Andres, in the technical part of it, how you guys develop this tool is you design like their own computer language, their own software, their own language.
Yes, because human language is very complex, and computer language is normally, there are two kinds of language. I don't want to give a master class here, but there are two kinds of languages. The logic language or the statistical like Haskell and Prolog and Lisp, and the imperative languages. What means imperative? One instruction after another, and sometimes it makes a branch based on a decision. So normally all computer language flows in a single way. So you have a branch and you go left or you go right, like a flow graph. Okay, this is normal computer.
Yeah, but then it comes object orientated. I remember
Yes, no, the
when I was
object orientation is even object orientation. We use it absolutely, but it's a human reminiscence put into side of programming. But the problem is the flow of the program. If you make a if then else chain, you are building a house of cards. And if one card fails, all branch to the left and down is not more available. So the problem with conversation is once you cannot grasp what is the conversation we are going to have. So you don't know what's going to happen, but you can be prepared for things which you are aware and know how to solve. And for the other things, you can say, okay, I don't want to speak about the immortality of the giraffe, or understand.
Andres, but then the interesting thing, let me see if I understood the language that you guys created your technology. You actually, if you want to program something, only you need to speak with the thing, and the thing will create the software. Is that correct?
No, no.
So,
I will let people do programming because the whole idea of
so they need to learn the
whisper
language, right?
language is absolutely simple. If you have read a novel, you know how the language works, because the novel say, if he say this, then give that answer. If he say that's other, then give another answer. And whether if he doesn't say anything of this and he talks about his mother, tell him, I don't care about your mother. I only want to sell you this one. So this way you can direct the conversation, like create your own story. Like the book, go to the page 7, and then if you say yes, then go to the page A, but absolutely powered by AI. So you can if you want, you can train it on on something. But what is very interesting on this kind of language, it can follow multiple paths as the same way.
Tell us your story. How you develop this, guys? What's the story?
The story is it's a nasty story. I am engineer, electronics engineer. And electronics engineer are the engineers which are the most freaky one, because the engineering electronics is absolutely no mortal is able to understand the crap we are learning. So when I faced I saw the problem.
I got an idea because I'm a chemical engineer.
Oh, okay, you're engineer too. Yes, perfect. So we understand each other. We are mathematical, smart. We think everything is solvable by means of our math, our logic, and whatever. So I faced the chat, and I built my first chatbot about 20 years ago. And it was a total failure because the chatbot was able to understand Spanish, which is a highly inflective language. English people do not understand this, but if you are speaking Spanish, you know. And if you speak German, I speak German natively, so German is more complicated than Spanish. So the languages we are inflective and have a lot of twisting inside of the words, those languages are very difficult to be understood by means of statistics. You have to put rules inside. The statistic is only if you have the proper data and you trained it in the proper way and you filter out every other crap. So when I built my first chatbot, it was about 10,000 lines of code, and it took about
Wow.
6
Wow.
months to
A lot
make
of
it.
work.
No, 10,000 lines of word is nothing. Then let me go over when I tested it. Normally, when you write code, you write vanilla code. You write a lot of functions, and you have to remember which you have to call, where is the function, which is the name, blah, blah, blah. So after 6 months, I gave it to my friends. My friends were very happy to have a chatbot, a virtual friend. And when they asked them things, he was not able to understand because he was expecting one kind of sentence and not the other one. So the system was not able to tell which is the question he has been asking or about what he wants to do. So the problem was when I jumped inside of the technology on the software, I get lost in 10,000 lines of code. You get lost very easily. So you cannot maintain it. You cannot, and the system breaks. It's like a house of cards. When you take out a card, it breaks everything. So I get very frustrated with this. So I jumped into my lab and took 1 year thinking about the problem. And then I went and studied literature. And I take a course of literature, how to write, and what do you think when you write, and how do you express yourself when you write down something, when you speak, when you hear, when you listen. And then I saw the light, and the light was theatrical script is the perfect description for a dialogue because you are used to it. So what I created is something absolutely weird because normal language is computer language is not able to follow the path our mind is used to follow. So the way I thought the solution is to create something which is completely different to traditional computing language. So I built something we called knowledge pearls. It's like a little pearl who is able to do only one thing. For example, understand one kind of sentence, understand one kind of output, say something, do something, perform an operation on the web, anything. These little pearls, it's like when you have a collar pearl and you throw it into a box, you have a lot of pearls and you don't know which pearl you are talking about. So each intelligent pearl or cognitive pearl is able to know which one he should follow in the next conversation. So I built a, let's take it this way, a push-down automata, which is something not everyone understands. It's like a compiler which is able to follow the logic inside of a conversation and then take the language, make a compilation, and execute whatever is inside of the sentence with the context of the object created by the other conversation. So you convert your sentence into smart objects which are able to talk, which are able to say something. even if there are,
Yeah,
for example, something which is very weird. We are actually biological computers, no doubt about it. And our computing language is to be discovered, but the language is speech. Because we think something, we convert it into speech, you hear it, and you convert it into some thought in your brain.
and then
This
you
is the way.
speak, and after you speak, an action comes.
Yes, and when you detect an action, you perform this action because you understand what's happening. Okay,
Which is the
understanding.
fundamental of what you designed, right?
Yes, our fundamentals is language
Andres, sorry to
execution.
interrupt you, but why you said that in Spanish is good and in English is not that good? Why?
Because, for example, in Spanish, a single verb can be put in infinitive, gerund, and past. Nothing else. In Spanish, you have three kind of futures, three kind of past, two kind of present, 6 persons, which is absolutely 200 on different inflections on a single verb. So verbs, they just eat up information and put it all inside of a word. So the dictionaries are huge, 300 million words. And whenever you try to search for a word in a so big dictionary, you waste a lot of computer time. So therefore there exists the tokenization and all this crap. But we solved it in an absolutely novel way. It's very complicated to explain, but behind our system there is 1.5 million lines of code, high quality code, written in
Oh
.NET.
wow! Oh wow! In .NET. Oh wow!
Everything
.NET
runs on machine learning and machine level. The system is so smart. When you write down a little bit of language describing the behavior of something, the system writes code, and the code gets compiled, and the compilation of the code is executing your conversation. So the conversation are being executed. There is no code injection. There is no cheating. There is no way the system jumps out of a decision which has been made by hardware. It's like wiring up your mind for making exactly what I am telling you to do.
Andres, if someone is in love with this conversation, how people can find it, how this process works, and how they can try out the tool. So the tool works very good in software. Everything works very good in Spanish.
No, works also in any language. It's language
works in
agnostic.
English also.
But
It's language agnostic.
But you have to provide the dictionaries because the knowledge you have to put it inside. Once the knowledge is inside, the system is able to speak any language.
So you have to load it. Okay. So how people can find you, how this process works?
We have many pages on adipta.co, our company. If you want to see how the DDL works, just look for my name or look for chat.adipta.co/DDL. So these are, we can put it down on the
last question, which is technical. Yeah, technical question. Last question, also technical. Yes. Now, as you know, now we are moving our browsing behavior. So basically, people they're not typing anymore in Google to search for something. They are. You see the young people talking with the phone. I saw the other day. Everybody now. They want to know something. They just talk with the thing. Okay, I want to the restaurant. I want the restaurant. I want to this. So the searching behavior, the way that we behave in internet, have changed dramatically, really fast in the last couple 2-3 years. Basically, now people want to talk. People don't want to type in Google anything anymore. Everybody wants to speak. So therefore, language. Hold on, and also it comes with the tonality as well. So it's not the same that you say, I'm very happy, like, oh, I'm happy. So the tonality also
Emotions are
Please,
embedded in the
please say
language.
exactly. So so then how those systems need to recognize not only the language but also the emotion embedded, right? So,
Yes,
any ideas on this?
yes, we recognize we recognize emotions. We have built an emotional engine inside which mimics the emotion of the person and the human. He tried to guess the emotion of the human to maybe say him, I'm sorry, I want to help you, whatever it likes. But one thing which is most important of all,
Oh wow, this is very good, very powerful. If
let me
they can
give you
mismatch the emotion.
the last one. A system able to understand a time date sentence like second month, second Thursday, the last month of the last year at 3 p.m. A system understanding this executed on a single core without more than 20K of memory in less than 50 milliseconds. So you don't need a data center. You don't need a huge computer. You can run on a laptop, an old-fashioned laptop with 4 gigs of memory and Windows 7. It works. And it works faster than you can think. And the system
Wow, wow,
escalates. You can put 10,000 agents talking simultaneously on a single computer with very few resources. We have more than 20 agents working all around the world in a single AWS EC2 engine, which is the cheapest one. So the system do not
wow, very
need that
impressive.
data centers. And if you want to set a system in a hospital because you don't want the data of the patients going out to a web service, whatever you like, you can install it on a single server, an old-fashioned server. Also, it works. So our system
And
is
it
about
perform, Andres, and it will perform like ChatGPT same, right?
it is not the same thing. ChatGPT is something you can talk about your mother and what do you think about the world and any crap. You can here you can talk about what the company needs to be talked. So only this one.
Specific.
Specific. We are not trying to solve a, a, a stupidity problem. We and to fascinate everyone. No, we want to solve the problem of the companies who need specific conversation. When you take an employee and you say, okay, when someone comes in, ask him if he wants a new dress. And if he wants a new dress, okay, you can send it to the next step. But if he comes in and say, I need meds, see, okay, we are not a pharmacy. Go to a pharmacy, we don't have meds. Okay, give me money. We don't give up money. We take money only. So the way is you understand him, but the procedure you have to follow is the procedure of the company. So our language is exactly the same as teaching an employee how to behave. This
And
is
fascinated.
and it's cheap, cheap,
That's the most impressive.
10,000 10,000 times cheaper than any AP call to a big language model. And even if they say language models are open source, you can download it and run it in your computer. Bullshit. It doesn't work this way because you need a huge computer to run a very poor LLM to know about how to cooking a turkey, which is unuseful. You don't need it, but you have all your memory filled with crap like this, and then you can talk with only one person because the next one the computer burns out. There is no way.
Wow, Andres, the architecture that you have done in the technology is spectacular. Huh? That you
Yes,
guys are working, the architecture
yes, and
is
even
amazing,
even
right?
we
Very difficult
solve.
to do.
We solve, you're a chemical engineer. We understand UPAC terminology. You say NO3, NH4, ammonium nitride. Okay. He knows it because he understands chemics. He
Oh
understands
wow.
units. You say 1 Newton by 1 meter,
Mhm.
1 second, he say 1 watt. Understand?
Oh wow. Wow. So,
Unit conversion,
and this is what you need for
engineering.
companies. This is what you need for companies. You need solution.
Yes,
You need the thing to
we
think actually.
we we
Uh,
don't
something
we don't want
concrete.
to
Yeah.
fascinate everyone. We want to
Yeah.
solve the problems of the
Problem of the
company, like any
companies.
engineer want to solve.
And a specific companies, like you said, with the knowledge base, you cannot make mistakes, right? It's not the same. Uh, well, even in a restaurant, you cannot make mistake because otherwise you can give a food to someone with allergy. But there are sectors like the healthcare industry, like
Oil and
the
gas,
some
oil and
oil
gas,
and
energy.
gas. No, even
You cannot do a
the bank,
mistake
the banking
driving a
system.
car, even driving a
Absolutely,
car. Oh, the system
absolutely.
hallucinated and killed two
Mm-hmm,
pedestrians.
mm-hmm,
Oh, he was
mm-hmm,
hallucinating. Sorry, the
mm-hmm.
system was dreaming, but he killed two people.
And
Tesla has a
consuming
lot of problem with this.
and consuming huge
Yes,
data
and even
centers and everything.
the other problem on, I don't want to throw stones on other companies, but when you begin to pay for the tokens, your money evaporates. The system do
But
not
the,
scale. They do not scale. You know, when a conversation flows in a artificial intelligent way, in 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 a generative system, you have to keep track of the whole conversation. Each time the conversation go to the service, it goes with everything you said, he answered, and everything else. So the whole conversation begins to grow, and you begin to pay for every token which is sending back and forward. So your cost grows exponentially as the conversation flows. So you have no limit how much a conversation with a customer will cost you. It can cost from 1 cent of dollar to $50, $1,000. I don't know. And
depends how.
people do not need this uncertainty. People need
Mm,
to be certain. So you can say, okay, our system is able to talk with 100 people at the same time. Okay, you want 1,000 people? Okay, you pay for 1,000 people. It's the same. But the only difference, you should be able, your databases should be able to check information from 1,000 in the same time. No database is able to do this. So our system is faster than the rest of the technology
mhm,
because
mhm.
we execute
More
language.
efficient. Yeah, yeah. I'm efficient. Very efficient.
Yes,
That's
efficient.
fantastic.
Efficiency is everything. Engineering is
I
about
mean,
efficiency.
you have it in your DNA. You're German.
Yes, I have a little bit of German. I have
Yeah,
100% of German. Yes, Deutsch,
German.
absolutely.
Yeah, so Germany, because I'm a chemical engineer, I know that this comes. The Germans are
And the
very
annealing bath, annealing,
engineering and efficiency. That's all what Germans
yes,
is building
we
in
are
DNA
engineering efficiency.
and
Exactly.
efficiency. I know that's why you have those cars, the Mercedes Benz and the
BMW,
W's and all those.
Audi,
Yeah,
all those.
and
Audi is not German.
I'm a chemical engineer, and the first refinery that they didn't exit.
Explode.
Oh, no, that didn't. After you put everything, that it has residual zero. It was designed by Germans.
Ah, yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yes.
Zero residual, zero. So it's a refinery, oil. So you put the oil, you create the product, zero waste.
No waste. My
No
gosh.
waste. Been designed by Germans, right? So it's
See,
and I know I have a lot of friends from Germany. They are engineers and everything, and there is always about efficiency and
efficiency.
engineering. So, like I said, you
See,
have it in your DNA. That's why you create something like this. It's embedded. I think maybe it's cultural or I don't know the way.
I
But
was
Germans are
as a
very
little.
good engineers.
I was a
Germans.
little freak when I was young. I was a freak. With 10 years, I know how to make calculus.
Oh
Also,
wow, wow. Yeah.
self-taught. Everything self-taught. I was kicked
Okay.
out of the school because
Oh
I know
wow,
too much.
really?
I
Oh
almost
wow,
then I
wow.
teach my in my self grade in my own grade I teach engineering and
Really?
even in
Oh wow.
university.
Andre, have been a pleasure to be in the podcast. One more time, can you share the name of your technology and how people can access to have a look?
It's our technology is Adipta, ADIPTA.co. This
And
is
it
there
works
you
in
can find.
Spanish, it works in English, it works in everything. All you have to do is to make sure that you put a solid knowledge base to the
The
technology. Is
knowledge
that correct?
base basically is a dictionary. I built dictionary for Portuguese, English, German, of course, and Spanish. So
And English also. Okay, very good.
those are and the system is able to understand if you show him something in another language, he's able to tell the language which are you talking with. So we can use
Andre, and
service
how long you been working on this since you started the thing? How many years?
about 15 years.
So generative AI didn't exist, any of this exists, and you have been working on this for long, long, long time, right?
I suggest people to search for our chatbot, which is a virtual persona. We call it to differentiate with the stupid bot, the silly bots. So he should
And where
look
is the
for.
chatbot in the website, in the Adipta
Yes,
website, right?
you can find it in our website.
And
You
it's
can
your
put
own chatbot based in your technology. So it will perform based it's
it's
sitting in your technology, right?
yes, it is, and even it's working 6 years for 6 years. You
Oh,
can
wow.
make a medical appointment, and you can tell him what are you sick of, and he will tell you which specialist of the
Doctor,
medicine will
wow.
treat your problem. You can,
Oh,
I
wow.
broke my leg. You have to go to the traumatology. I don't hear from 1 year. Go to the otorhinolaryngology. I cannot
Wow.
see. Go to the ophthalmologist. So
Wow.
the system, and if you say you are an idiot, the system say, okay, I
Okay.
please don't swear, but I can help you with idiots because idiot is a medical issue, and I can give you an appointment with a psychiatrist to treat the idiotism.
Wow, fantastic, Andres. Thank you so much one more time for being in the podcast. They have
Thank you
been
for the
really
time.
interesting, really interesting. I think you're a genius, yeah. And I think you're
No, it's
sitting in
not.
something amazing. I think you have worked a lot and create something that actually solve the problem in a viable way because I see this problem coming and coming escalating now. Everyone is depending on of the creating agents and this and that without knowing that the more agents you have, the more tokens you consume, the more things. And then when you blink, you're gonna be paying more for tokens than for employees, right?
And you pay for something which you don't know if it is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
In
So we'll
our
see.
case, you pay for accuracy.
Very good. Thank you so much, Andres. And for all of you
Thank
following
you.
the podcast,
Thank you.
Entrepreneurs and Leaders, see you in our next episode. How brave entrepreneurs like Andres run businesses that make the world a better place. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.